Minnesota Vikings could and should be in the market for adding some veteran cornerback depth this offseason, and absent spending up for Patrick Peterson or Xavier Rhodes, if the Vikings want to go cheap, recently released former Broncos cornerback AJ Bouye could be an option for various reasons. And yes, I hear, well, why sign a soon-to-be 30-year-old cornerback who hasn't played really well since 2018 and has a PED suspension hanging over his head? I hear you. I do understand. But if you want to go cheap, players are going to have some dings. Like, it's going to be that imperfect fruit company that's really taken off, right? And I know you want a 24-year-old all-pro for $4 million per year, but sorry, that's literally not how it works. Like, there are lots of market inefficiencies in baseball all the time. Moneyball is predicated off of that, but not so much in the NFL. No, pricing is pretty tight. So let's talk about AJ Bouye today. Background, 29 years old, turns 30 in August, 6 foot, $191, former 2013 UDFA out of Central Florida. And now I know, Central Florida cornerbacks, look at Mike Hughes, look at Neville Clark. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Spent his first 4 seasons with the Texans, signed with the Jaguars in 2017. 5 years, $67.5 million deal. Paired up with Jalen Ramsey in Duval. Nice little duo. Made his first Pro Bowl that season, as well as was second team All-Pro. Had 6 picks, 10 passes broken up, 49.6 quarterback rating when thrown up. 84.5 PFF grade, which was 7th best in the NFL as well. Was eventually traded to the Broncos last March for a 4th-round pick after a pretty down 2019, and the Jaguars were cleaning house. But yeah, after Jalen Ramsey was traded and AJ had to be a cornerback 1, I had a pretty rough 2020 as well. Dislocated his shoulder week 1, then eventually had a concussion week 9, played in 6 kind of meh games after that shoulder dislocation, 0 picks, 6 passes broken up, allowed 2 touchdowns and a 102.9 in the Zoom quarterback rating when thrown at. Eventually was hit with a 6-game PED suspension, served 4 in 2020, then we'll have to serve 2 more to start the 2021 season. Now, connecting the dots, there is a strong correlation between positive PED tests and players coming back from injury, especially older players. So they're just trying to expedite the healing process. Did this happen with AJ Bouye? It was reported that he could seek legal options and that he was betrayed by someone that he trusts. So who knows, right? Broncos and old friend George Payton save $11.689 million in cap space by punting on Bouye. Now, interesting caveat, because since he was cut and does not have an expiring contract, he can be signed right now. So he doesn't have to wait until March. Now, I know. Well, what about the cap? Well, technically, teams don't have to be in cap compliance for a while, right? Plus, I mean, the official cap isn't even set. So how can teams be in compliance with a number that is fictitious and estimated, right? So the Vikings could sign AJ Bouye right now. So cost, he's not going to cost much. And I think that teams will shy away because of the suspension. Plus, he's going to be 30, and he's not exactly playing at that all-pro, Pro Bowl type level like he was back in 2017. But he's still a very solid veteran cover cornerback. He's not a cornerback 1, which we saw from 2019 after Jalen Ramsey was traded to the Rams. But that's fine. That is fine. I think that he can be a solid cornerback 2, ideally a solid cornerback 3, and you start Dantzler and Gladney in base, and then in nickel you put Bouye on the outside along with Dantzler and kick Gladney into the slot. Makes a lot of sense. Plus, you will get a good read on his character and his game, what he's like in the locker room from new wide receiver coach Keenan McCardle, who practiced against him every single day for 3 years. So that's some nice inside information as well. So I think it might be a huge spot for the Vikings. Great value. Sign him to a, say a 1-year, $4 million deal, which I think that might be the best that he could get given his market, given his situation. And then, of course, that's prorated down because he's going to miss 2 games. You have him in training camp. You get him comfortable in the scheme. You get a good read on him. And then week 3, you have this really decent veteran cornerback coming in who's pissed off and hungry and ready to prove himself. I think it's great value. I think it is. So if the Vikings aren't going to spend up big in free agency at cornerback, which they probably won't. I mean, there's a lot of other pressing needs, offensive line, defensive tackle, potentially edge rusher. But they do want to bring in a veteran guy where you like the young kids, but you don't quite trust them yet. I think AJ Bouye is a unique situation that can bring a lot of value to the Vikings this season. But your thoughts, AJ, let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some of the Venmo. But until next time, Skol. Production value.